first, Kemi thought Shola's husband was buying them for her, until Shola told her it was her own money and that she had friends who loved her and sent her money all the time. Kemi begged Shola to connect her with these friends, but Shola wished she could and told Kemi to manage what she had, insisting that she wanted to be like her and enjoy the finer things of life. Shola warned Kemi to be careful of what she wished for, as it might come to pass. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a lady named Kemi. She was a very beautiful woman from a well-brought-up family. Kemi got married very early in life to her heartthrob. She had 2 wonderful kids with her husband, and they lived in peace. Kemi had a shop in the market where she sold produce from their farm. She ensured she took very good care of her husband and children. Kemi's husband, Taiwo, was a loving and dedicated father who took very good care of his family and was always present at home. Though they had little, their joy could be felt. They were a close-knit family and knew how to manage their resources properly. Kemi and Taiwo made family time fun by playing games and ensuring they were part of their children's lives. Taiwo worked very hard, but there was little or nothing to show for it. Kemi would always encourage her husband, telling him that their hard times would pass and that he would soon land a big contract that would turn their lives around. He always held on to her words. Most of Kemi's friends had relocated from their town, so she had little or no time to make new friends and kept to herself most of the time. One day, a friend named Biodu visited Kemi at her stall in the market. Biodu was dressed beautifully and it was clear she had a lot of money. Kemi was so happy to see and reconnect with her friend because it had been so long since they last saw. They had a little chat in the market and Biodu promised to visit Kemi at her home. During the weekend, Kemi made time to visit her friend, and there she reconnected with another friend, Shola, whom she hadn't seen in a long time. They chatted and Kemi was so happy for her dear friend and the wealth she and her husband had amassed. She congratulated her friend on their success. They discussed until very late in the night before Kemi left for home. She told her husband about reconnecting with her old friends and how happy she was. They had a brief discussion and then retired for the night. Kemi was up that night as she couldn't sleep, thinking about how Shola has amassed wealth over a short period of time. She knew Shola well before she left, and Kemi had practically been helping her and giving her money, and now Shola had made it. Kemi thought she would ask Shola to show her the way because she couldn't keep living from hand to mouth. She too wanted to amass her own big wealth. After a while, she retired for the night. In the weeks that followed, Kemi spent almost all her time with Shola, who was always buying new things. At first, Kemi thought Shola's husband was buying them for her, until Shola told her it was her own money and that she had friends who loved her and sent her money all the time. Kemi begged Shola to connect her with these friends, but Shola wished she could and told Kemi to manage what she had. Kemi wasn't happy with Shola and refused to talk to her for a month. When Shola visited her shop, Kemi said she wasn't in the mood to talk. After much persuasion, Kemi decided to meet with Shola, insisting that she wanted to be like her and enjoy the finer things of life. Shola warned Kemi to be careful of what she wished for, as it might come to pass. Kemi was resolute and demanded an introduction to Shola's friends, who sent her money. Reluctantly, Shola agreed, but warned Kemi not to tell her husband and to say she needed to go do business. Kemi went home super excited and told her husband she wouldn't be back the next day as she needed to do some outside business but promised to return soon. Her husband cautioned her to be very careful and expressed his love for her. They hugged and retired for the night. Kemi, out of excitement, couldn't fall asleep early as she couldn't wait to change her family's life. Kemi left the next day with Shola and returned 2 days later. Her husband noticed she wasn't very bright and asked if everything was alright. She replied that she was just tired. But in the days that followed, it was clear she wasn't herself. However, she started buying things her family would normally not be able to afford, expanded her business, and gave her husband some money to expand his business. He was grateful but curious about how she raised the money. She explained that a friend loaned it to her and she could repay whenever she got the money. He inquired about the friend so he could thank her, but Kemi said it wouldn't be necessary. In the days that followed, Kemi became a different person, no longer having time for her family. It was only work, work, work. She bought land and started building on it, neglecting her family, which broke her husband's heart. She became rude and arrogant, and her husband wondered if this was her true nature. One day, Kemi fell seriously ill and needed urgent treatment. She went to a medicine man and discovered she had contracted a deadly disease that had no cure and was beginning to show on her face. Her husband demanded an explanation and she begged for forgiveness. She admitted she had been carried away by the riches her friend had and wanted to better her life. She revealed that her friend, though married, had sugar daddies who funded her lifestyle. She didn't know this until she was at a dinner table with two men and thought she could borrow money from them. But her friend cautioned her that the men didn't lend money but paid for services. Kemi asked her friend why she was doing this, and Shola explained that her husband slept around with different girls and had no time for her. So this was her way of feeling like a woman and earning big money. Kemi said she didn't want to do this as she loved her husband, but her friend convinced her it was the only way out of poverty and that no one would tell her husband. She didn't know the man she slept with had a disease which he transmitted to her without informing her. Kemi apologized to her husband, but he was furious. He asked if he ever gave her the impression that they needed money to be happy. He said he preferred the old Kemi to the new one, corrupted one standing before him. He packed his bags and those of their children, saying he couldn't live in a home built on adultery. He left with their kids, ignoring her pleas. Kemi realized she had brought this upon herself and ruined a perfect marriage for money. Truly, all that glitters isn't gold. After some years, she sold all she had acquired to treat herself, but no man wanted anything to do with her. Not even Shola, who disassociated herself. Eventually, Kemi died, and only her frail mother attended her funeral. Taiwo, her husband, later got a big contract and built a mansion for his family. After remarrying, they all lived in peace. The end. Some of the lessons to be learned from this story are: never let greed make you do things you will regret. Know that patience is a virtue, and in due time you will receive God's blessings. There is never a quick route to success, as it takes time. Don't envy anyone's life because yours might be better. And truly, all that glitters isn't gold. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us. Turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story. Like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.